Here I am in Auckland Hospital, 5th visit to hospital, having ever-changing symptoms after having a stent put in, facing more narrowed arteries. Now that I've remembered numbers of different symptoms I've been having through the years, they all reoccurring now that the blood flow is semi-normal, now that one of the most narrowed arteries, the brachial artery, has been stented. The blood flow to my brain, I believe, is producing more sensitivity in my body through the blood flow and the activity of the brain, and my opinion. And I experienced nearly every day a different symptom, but all the symptoms are symptoms I've experienced in previous years and months and days. It's like the hypochondriac patient has something different to complain about every day. Anyway, so they seem to have reached the surgeons a conclusive kind of procedure in figuring out what problems are related to what. And they've now the next step is, have I got temporal arteritis or something, arteris, which is narrowing of the carotid artery in the neck. Apparently there's narrowings in the neck, and apparently the left carotid chest artery is narrowed, or the carotid arteries in the neck, and this chest one parallel to the brachial is also narrowed. So whatever that situation is, they're doing a biopsy on the side of my head to determine whether there's inflammation in my head and my brain. I'm certain there is, because through the years I've had numbers and numbers of sore spots on my head, which are very tender, like an external stroke kind of thing, affecting the outside of the head, not the inside. It's the best way I've thought of it. There's a better way I can't think what it is right now. So when they do this biopsy and figure out the inflammation, they can, apparently it's going to be very simple to surgically do something to the narrowings in my neck, and then that'll prevent stroke risk from stenting the other major artery in my chest, apparently. That's how I see it. So anyway, but really looking forward to having all this done and solved, and back to at least having my brain back into how, with enough blood to function as a brain, so that the rest of my body can heal. I've been told all sorts of things through the years. I was going to die of cancer. My kidney could be removed. I've had my bowel. I've had my the bile producing organ removed. That shriveled up, apparently. I was told I had pancreas problems. Was told I had what else? There's another organ, maybe even bowel cancer. So how can my body even heal if my brain isn't going to be capable of functioning by getting the blood? So the surgeon has told me I'd had the back of my brain hadn't been getting blood for a very long time. On the post-op table after the stent operation for the brachial artery, I had the most amazing experience. My brain was like like there was a ball in the middle of my brain, or in the base of the middle of my brain. It was experienced an amazing amount of pleasure for really quite astounding, really quite a lot. And around the outside of that central kind of pleasure experience was another sort of lower intense experience of pleasure. So when I was a kid, I used to walk into lampposts and never see where I was walking, crashed in the corner of the house on the tricycle, When I was about 23, I walked down the stairs from the upstairs bedroom, unable to see, but just halfway down the stairs, I realised, oh, I'm actually. I knew I got up on my feet off the edge of my bed to walk, but I couldn't see where I was going. So I stopped and I thought, should I just keep going? I thought, okay, well, this is working. I may as well. Kept walking without able to see where I was going. Opened my eyes for a moment, or my sight came back after a moment, could see where I was going. My eyes closed again, walking down the stairs without even being able to see where I was going. I think I stopped halfway down the stairs again and then continued with my eyes unable to even see. So that's what I think the surgeon was referring to when he said the back of my brain hadn't been getting blood for a very long time, that this carotid artery disease had been with me for a very long time. And I remember at rugby practices too, so I couldn't keep up with all the other rugby players ever in the games or the practices. So really, to me it means I could have the use of a brain that hasn't been used before, kind of thing. That's how it seems to me, so it's pretty exciting. So all these different things that have gone wrong through the years, I think most likely from that. Oh, another thing, when I was very young, my mum told me this when I was 28. I think my speech is a little affected. She said, your dad and I thought you were mongoloid, which today is Down syndrome. She said we were going to have you committed to a mental institution for the rest of your life. She cried, but it took me a while, but I got to my mum and I wanted to comfort her. I said, Mum, that doesn't mean anything to me, you know. It wouldn't have meant anything to me then, wouldn't have meant anything to me now, you know. You didn't, and even if you had, if I'd actually spent some time in a mental institution and had shock treatment, and I'd seen the people there who were regarded as mongoloid in the mental institution. They call them drips. They'd have them form a line and put a hand on each other's shoulder and walk them around the mental institution, guided by the male nurses. And but I've seen quite a number of them out of the mental institution since those years too. So, oh well, just spotted this feature in Facebook and thought I'd post some life history of mine. Thank you. Make some comments. Haven't heard from anyone yet. Thanks.